Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to BSV TV. I'm your host Satoshi, and on this show we'll be defending the one and only, truly genuine Bitcoin. The Bitcoin that Satoshi Nakamoto designed in his white paper as a peer-to-peer electronic cash system for the world. Let's get the disclaimers out of the way. So all the statements that you hear on this show are opinion and must only ever be taken as opinion. They are never to be taken as any form of advice, family, financial, sexual or otherwise. And on that note, let's sit back, relax, have some fun and enjoy the show. Get paid for your content in Bitcoin and set your own fee on Streamanity.
Yeah, I'm not surprised I wasn't asked why I'm convinced Craig is Satoshi. I posted on Reddit. He signed in my presence using the private key from block number one, the very first mined Bitcoin block. On a computer that I'm convinced had not been tampered with, on software I'm convinced that had not been tampered with, a message of my choosing.
At InChain, we've just funded a number of universities doing, so far, a test up to 1 gigabyte because it validates what we've already done independently. We've tested up to 380 gigabyte blocks. We've tested 1 million transactions a second and transaction sizes up to 20 megabytes. Super complex scripts. Basically ones that can run operating systems. That's basically all of global commerce times about 50. On top of that, we can have complex scripts. On top of that, we can scale each of those transactions 1,000 times, which effectively means about 1 billion transactions per second, which means we can then have all derivatives, all complex trades. That means high frequency trading. It means everything that happens globally.
Is the market that effectively BSV is going for, is that global e-commerce, which is currently valued at $29 trillion?
No, that's too small.
Buy and sell Bitcoin instantly at bsvgravity.com. And you can now book and pay for your winter holiday at skibsv.com. Good afternoon, everybody. It looks like we are live at 5, rocking and rolling. What a day it has been. My goodness me. So excited to jump into these figures. Let's just simply crack on with it. This is the crypto forecast, the strength of the system, the health of the network. Here we go. So we've got Bitcoin with 0.9% of the hash rate. Bcrash at 1.2, Corecoin 98. Network nodes, same as they ever were since the 15th of November 2018, when Bitcoin finally got its protocol back, but just simply adopted a new ticker symbol, which is BSV. And look at this. Look at this. Bitcoin has now currently got 94.6% of the transactions on its network. I mean, this is hilarious. This is hilarious. Absolutely smashing these utter shitcoins. Utter shitcoins. They couldn't get anywhere near this. And bearing in mind, this is 94.6% of the entire Bitcoin network. So that leaves less than 6% for these other shitcoins to squabble over. I mean, it's just absolutely mammoth. And then look at the block size again, almost 90% of the block size. I mean, it's not the fact that they've got it. I mean, this is probably a stress test network or something like that. Well, it's actually on mainnet, which is why they've got this. But I mean, it's probably a test. But these other shitcoins can't, the network that these other shitcoins run on cannot touch this. They cannot get anywhere near this. This is the point. And shitcoin is so concerned with number go up, looking at price. They have no idea what is coming. Literally no idea what's coming. And while I'm just talking about no idea what's coming, I actually had a thought earlier on today that Bitcoin is actually not meant for residential use like us mere mortals. It's designed for corporations. It is designed for corporate use. It is a peer-to-peer electronic cash system for the entire world, for global trade and international commerce. So it is going to be corporations first. Like, they are literally going to be buying this thing like there is no tomorrow. Like, it is going to be corporate cocaine. Ordinary residential people like us, you know, are literally only meant, well, you know, probably thought of as only maybe having like a few Satoshis. But, you know, those few Satoshis will probably be worth, you know, 10, 20, 30, you know, $1,000, you know, very soon. I mean, that's kind of like all, you know, we need. You know, how much money do you need? Whereas, you know, corporations dealing with global trade, they need these volumes of transactions in order to sustain their businesses. Then they need the security of their data. So this is what it just got me thinking. I was just like, I was really humbled by this thought. And I just thought, well, I'm kind of like educating people on this, but you've got to understand that us, literally like a handful of people who listen to my show that actually understand what it is that I'm talking about, literally we are like the 1% of the 1% that, however you found this out, or however you discovered it, whether you stumbled across it, whether or not you made your decision based on the fact that you liked somebody, or you actually sort of like heard the way they talk and thought, actually that makes sense, I'll give them another listen. But that decision is what has led you here, and you found this. So congratulations. And I was thinking to myself, like, you know, I'm not a big corporation. I'm just little old me. You know, and yeah, I've got a fair few, you know, Bitcoin. But it's not really meant for me. But then I was just like, well, you know, I actually had a case of imposter syndrome. I was just like, wow, like the amount that I've got, like in the future, it will be more than I will ever be able to spend. And to be honest with you, it's not like I've earned it. I haven't really done anything for it. You know, it's Craig's creation that has done this, but I figured it out. So, I mean, I don't think that I personally deserve the reward that is in store for just simply figuring it out, but we've got it. So deal with it. What are you going to do? You know, I mean, it would be a shame to just simply, you know, spend the rest of your life on a beach. You know, I think you get bored very quickly. You know, what are you going to do? I mean, and again, this is what I would encourage everybody to think of. And in terms of like thinking about what you're going to do, I'll throw this one out there. So, I personally think, and I just had this thought when someone said, "Oh, you know, is it going to be how are you know?" I can't remember what the question was. I'll find it on my Twitter profile in a minute. But oh, actually, no. It was actually in one of my DMs actually, and it made me think that obviously fiat currency can just simply be printed, you know, straight off the bat. And I thought, you know, we've already seen that the Japanese government or the Japanese central bank owns 80% of the Japanese stock market. You know, they have the Japanese central bank. Well, I can't remember what the figure was. You know, their assets under management is more than the Japanese GDP. You know, it's nuts. And then you've got the Swiss central bank owning $90 billion worth of stocks on the US stock market. You know, money made from nothing. All these large corporations, institutions, whatever you want to call them, are going to be buying Bitcoin. So how do you stop them printing money to buy Bitcoin? And I'm sure that Satoshi Nakamoto has already thought of this. And this is how it's going to happen. So when that happens, when they go in with millions, billions, whatever, the price of Bitcoin, which is BSV, will just absolutely fly up to $1 million per Bitcoin. Then these corporates and, you know, central banks, you know, are then going to be like, well, hold on a minute. You know, in order to, if one Bitcoin is $1 million, in order to have 1,000 Bitcoin, we then have to print $1 billion. Now, these central banks, obviously they've got away with anything that they want so far because they don't actually have to print very much to pay people off. Like, the Federal Reserve, they've just sort of like filtered $100 million through corporations and given it to Blockstream, and they're, there you go, nobody really bats an eyelid. But that's 100 million. $1 billion is another thing. $1 billion is not going to go unnoticed. People are going to be like, hold on a minute, where's that $1 billion come from? That is debasing our currency. What do you think you're doing? And so that's what made me think, I honestly think this is going to absolutely fly to over $1 million in literally maybe like, just over a couple of years. That's what I think, because people are very, very soon going to realize that we've been hoodwinked by this fiat currency and by the central banks and the people who control it. That's what I think. So that's when, in order to get themselves Bitcoin, they're going to realize that they can't just simply print $1 billion overnight, because they'll have a rebellion on their hands from the citizens asking them what the hell they think they're doing, debasing their own currency and massively undermining it, and undervaluing it. And then they're just like, oh shit, right, we need to now all become miners. And that's when you get huge corporations, like I said, Amazon, Google, Facebook, Netflix, Apple, all the central banks, all the investment banks, the governments. That's when they all become miners and they start behaving themselves, because they can't print. It's not worth them printing fiat because they can't print enough. It's not worth the amount that they have to print for the amount of Bitcoin they're going to get for it. So yeah, that's what's going to happen. So really, it's kind of, it's these big players that are going to be going for it. So really, my show that reaches, maybe 40 or 50 people sort of like listening, even though it's fascinating, and like I said, we're going to be that 1% of the 1%, but what are we meant to do with this information that we've got? I would say it's our job to, either invest, do something good with this, or educate other people on it, because people are literally just meant to have, Satoshis. That's it. Whereas we here are currently buying Bitcoin for $167. I mean, it's absolutely insane. It's absolutely insane. But yeah, I just had this vision. I was like, this is how it's going to go down. It's going to get to $1 million like almost overnight. Which means that particularly governments like the CCP, who we know will probably have no problems like doing whatever they need to do to get their hands on Bitcoin, printing $100 billion worth of RMB overnight. The people are going to rise up. So what the hell do you think you're doing? That's our currency that you're debasing. So, yeah, I think and I personally think Satoshi has designed it that way. I honestly do. And when I say I think he's designed it that way, my mind just, when I actually see what he's done and what he's doing. So the likes of, we saw Shadows being on the return of the Bitcoin SV channel yesterday, saying, well, look, we're giving presentations to these corporations, and they're initially extremely skeptical, but then we start showing the statistics to them as to what the network can handle and what it's capable of and what it can do and the cost efficiencies it can make them, and suddenly they're interested. So this is why all these shitcoiners, like the BTC lot and the B Crash lot, just every other shitcoin has got it so wrong. So wrong. So there we go. But I think what's funny is that when Craig has designed this so that it gets people in early, and those who get in early are the ones who are rewarded, and they're expected to do something with it, like for example turn themselves into large mining operations, invest in the network, because they're initially sort of motivated by greed. They're just like, well, I'm making loads of money from this. I want to make more money. All right, well, I'll better invest in my mining operation so I can get more money, and then I'll reinvest that and get even more. And they're meant to grow. So that's kind of like motivated by by greed. But then you're going to get ordinary everyday members of the public, you know, buying this thing. But they are the goofballs that are going to be going, oh, I made this and I made that, and you know, I'm gonna use this for purchasing drugs, and you know, I'm gonna use this for like all the naughty things that I never thought I'd be able to get away with that I think I can now. They've all been suckered in. They've all been suckered in so badly. And I'm just like, wow. So these people think it's initially for them and it's a way for them to get away with stuff, all the naughty stuff that they want to do. And now they can't. And it's not even for them. It's for corporations. And we here in BSV are the very, 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 very small minority who understand this. Like, it just blows my mind. It blows my mind as to what's happening. So let's crack on with the rest of these figures. Getting carried away talking there. I mean, look at all these blocks coming through here. Wow. But anyway, before we get into this, let's just spot the biggest block on Bcrash. We've got 528. So just over half a megabyte for them. Is that the biggest one? Oh my goodness, like half a megabyte. Half a megabyte. So I've missed it again. Where was it? 528. Just cheapers. And then obviously Coin have just simply got their block size restricted, so they're not going anywhere. Look at this. So I actually saw the 142 megabyte block that was mined yesterday, but let's see what the biggest one is. We've got 48 megabyte block. I mean, look at the size of these things coming through. A 27 megabyte block, a 112 megabyte block. That's not kilobytes, that's megabyte. A 50 megabyte block. I mean, absolutely huge. And again, this is why I go through the charts every day, because we're going to see changes like this. It's going to be fascinating. I want to see it. So hash rate by network, again, that hasn't changed. Proof of work by network since the 1st of August 2017. The other two will stop. Bcrash versus Bitcoin. Bcrash versus Bitcoin. I mean, look at this. So it's currently 21,000 times cheaper to transact on Bitcoin than it is on Coin, because it's an absolute piece of shit. It's 1.7% more profitable to mine on Bcrash than Coin, and it's 4.4% at the moment more profitable to mine on Bitcoin than Coin. Look at this. Look at this daily average Bitcoin block size by network. See, look. This is what this is the stuff that I've been doing this show for. This is why I monitor it every day, to see stuff like this. You know, all the theories and hypotheses that we have, you know, come out with about predictions are here. Like, this is it. This is reality. It just amazes me. Whoa, look at that. Daily Bitcoin transactions by network. I mean, the other two networks just haven't got the capacity or the technology to be able to do this. I mean, it's amazing. Look at that. Daily average Bitcoin transactions per block by network are absolutely rinsing it. Rinsing it. There we go. Fees, you know, Bitcoin smashing it. Fees, Satoshi's Bitcoin smashing it. Block reward ratio. See, look, things can happen so fast, like literally overnight. And these shitcoiners have got no clue about this. Like, no clue about this. Like I said, it's an intelligence test. Oh my god. Oh my god. And here we go. So accumulated Bitcoin blockchain growth by network. Oh, a little increase there. Nice one. Getting closer, but the other two are just simply going to stop. Oh, come on, Coin Dance. Really? Seriously? Come on. Don't spoil a surprise. Come on, let's see this. Let's see this. Here we go. Right, so we've got global hash rate 7 days. F2 Pool pulling up there, and then the two biggest shitcoin enterprises, Binance and Pool. Global hash rate 24 hours. F2 Pool suddenly macking it hard there. Followed by Binance, Binance pushing Pool in and BTC.com out of the way. Alright, so an F2 Pool have increased their hash rate on the biggest shitcoin. This is hilarious. Is that right? Oh, no. So that's 7 days, 24 hours. This is Coin. Oh, come on, Coin Dance. Oh, grief. Alright, not going to get any sponsorship from me if they keep doing this. Come on, right. So global hash rate, 7 days global hash. What is going on? Good God. Get my finger on a trigger there, right. Global hash rate 7 days, global hash rate 24 hours, core coin. Alright, F2 pool macking it on core coin there. Binance and pooling and BTC.com down there. And look at this. This is B crash. This is hilarious. I mean, look at Hathor. I personally think that Hathor is attacking the B crash chain, because even though they're adding hash rate, they're mining empty blocks. So it's just not giving these miners an easy ride. They actually have to start processing transactions within blocks in order to win it. That's hilarious. Let's see. So yeah, Hathor, look, 0.25. Hathor 0.25 is just simply stealing all the empty blocks from all these shitcoin miners. This is hilarious. Yeah, Hathor's on the Hathor's. It looks like Hathor's actually, so Hathor is not on the Bitcoin chain. Look at that, because we've got all these big blocks coming through. Hathor is only mining the empty blocks with no transactions. So it's on Bitcoin Cash. Stealing all the empty blocks. That's a little robbing the shitcoin enterprise miners of the block reward. That's hilarious. And there'll hardly be any fees in those transactions whatsoever. So let's just see if Hathor is on Bitcoin. No, it's not. Look, it's gone. Look, Hathor is stealing the empty blocks on the B crash chain, so that these shitcoin miners can't live off the block reward. That's hilarious. Oh my goodness! I like Huobi suddenly macking it hard on the chain. Tal at 12.5%, but other mining pools, I guess they're on there keeping Huobi at bay. Maybe. I mean, yeah, this is fascinating to watch. Absolutely fascinating. I love the politics. And talking about politics, let's just have a quick look at this shitcoin crash chains here. Here we go. We've got Bitcoin hash rate by network. So it's Amory along the bottom. Damn, that's Amory along the bottom versus Bitchin, the Bitchin chain. This is the Bitchin chain. So they're the miners on the Bitchin chain. And again, this is Anne-Marie's ABC chain. Pro hashing with 0.09. Oh my God. And other mining pools on here. So other mining pools, again, like just completely dominating Anne-Marie's chain. Look at that. Unknown, 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 unknown. That's just brilliant. Oh, I love this space. Absolutely cracks me up. So let's just have a let's look at Bitcoin blocks live. See what this looks like right now. Right, so look at the block sizes down the bottom. 142 megabytes mined by Tau with $120 worth of fees in that one block, and that's 500,000 transactions, 507,921 transactions. The total fees, just $120 for all those. I mean, it's absolutely staggering. And look at this. So obviously, this is BVote. I'm guessing they're testing their application on the network with all these transactions. So they've currently got 98.4% of all the transactions going into the meme pool. But I mean, look at this go. Look at this go. You know, I mean, all these shitcoiners thinking that like Corecoin BTC with their 7 transactions a second, you know, it is going to be the global store of value. It's such a load of shit. This is hilarious. So for any newbies out there who don't know what they're looking at here, this line across the top is our transactions being recognized by the nodes on the network. Once they're recognized by the nodes, they are then thrown into the meme pool. And once they're thrown into the meme pool, they are then fought over or competed for by miners in order to process that transaction. And then when they're processed, they're placed into a block, and you can see the block on the blockchain right here. This is the global blockchain that Satoshi Nakamoto designed as Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. It blows me away. I mean, the reason you can't see any much comparison here is because we've got a huge 142 megabyte block here. I mean, in the future, these are going to be absolutely like off the charts. Off the charts. I mean, it's just staggering what we're looking at here. So let's just have a look at some other metrics here, which we'll have a look at the bit info charts. Here we go. So yeah, transactions last 24 hours. I mean, Bitcoin absolutely macking it. And that's 65.7% of the transactions on all chains. On all chains. So this pie chart here has got, Corecoin, Ethereum, XRP, Litecoin, Bcrash, Monero, and look at that. Bitcoin has got 65% of the whole lot. The whole lot. These utter shitcoins are being absolutely swallowed up. And rightly so. Dominated by Bitcoin. Amazing. And these active addresses last 24 hours. We'll look at this in just a minute. Love that. I made quite a funny tweet about that recently and just had teeth coming out there because somebody said it looked like Pac-Man. But yeah, absolutely phenomenal. Let's have a quick look at this active addresses. We'll add Ethereum in there, and we'll do over 3 months. I mean, look at this. Look at that. Whoa, 5.3 million active addresses. And it's huge. That is now 5 times the number of addresses that Corecoin has got. And Corecoin is just stagnant now. In fact, that bottom line there, with Ethereum and Corecoin in it, looks very similar to the comparison between Bcrash, Litecoin, Dogecoin, all the shit coins. I mean, they literally just pale into insignificance. This is what is coming. Massively, massively exciting. Massively exciting. And shitcoiners just don't have a clue. They just don't have a clue. Yeah, they are so going to get served. I was listening to like a YouTube video earlier on today, because they're all looking at number go up. That, Corecoin is going to be this and Corecoin is going to be that. And I'm just like, they're literally just dismissing Bitcoin like it's nothing because of number go up. And they're looking at completely the wrong numbers. Like, completely the wrong numbers. It's hilarious. Oh my goodness. So let's go on to Twitter gossip. Got a few things that I want to mention here today. After watching the show yesterday, the return of the Bitcoin SV channel, that was very exciting. But before we get into some of the articles, let's just have a quick look at some of my tweets today, just so I can remind myself as to what it was that I've said. Yeah, that was really funny. That was really funny. Here we go. Yeah, so that was the 142 megabyte block, and you can see the details in blockchair.com, like for any newbies who haven't seen this before. You can see over here on the right hand side where the cursor is, it says size 142,100. That's in kilobytes, so it's like 142.1 megabytes. And then it's got difficulty, I'm not sure what that is, and I've got version, median time, Merkle root, developers, API docs. I don't really know too much about this. Got input, output, the Coinbase, which is in the block. Yeah, I mean, there are so many metrics to look at. Again, this is for the techies. I'm not really techie. I'm a fundamentals person, but I still like to know. What they are. But that's where you can find those details. Oh, check this out! I saw Jack Lou posted this. Vinny Lingham just followed RelayX. Now, Vinnie Lingham was an early investor in, or I think the way his story goes is that he was an early investor in Bitcoin. Then he sold his Bitcoin for another company, made millions from it. So I think I saw in one of his speeches where he actually said that, yeah, the selling my Bitcoin was worth it for the returns that I made on this other business venture. But my point is, he is a very astute investor, and he has just followed RelayX. Yeah, on that note, time to wrap up the show. Hope you've enjoyed it. And so, as ever, be aware, take care, stay safe out there, joy given, same time tomorrow. Catch you later. BuyBSV.live, the best place to buy Bitcoin SV online. Get paid for your content in Bitcoin and watch the full episode on Streamanity for just 20 cents. Go to www.satoshi.tv. See the link in the description below. Bitcoin, one world, one chain.
One vision.